Welcome to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for CBS Sports coverage of Round 2 of the American Le Mans Series, America's premier sports car racing championship. These teams have already had a 12-hour race in March, and many of them are fresh from the world's greatest endurance race, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. In fact, 3 of the 4 class winners at Le Mans are in action here today.
My name's James Weaver. I'm driving Rob Dyson's number 16 Lola MG with Butch Leitzinger.
Hi, I'm JJ Lehto, driving for car number 38, ADT champion Audi with Marco Verde.
I'm Andy Wallace, driving Dyson Racing car number 20 with Chris Dyson.
I'm Brian Willman. I drive the number 56 Team Bucknam Racing Pilbeam with Chris McMurray and Jeff Bucknam.
I'm Oliver Gavin. I drive the number 4 CompuWare Chevrolet Corvette, and my teammate is Olivier Beretta.
Hi, I'm Jörg Bergmeister. I'm driving the number 23 McKenna Made Web Alex Truck Racing Porsche together with Timo Bernhard.
Getting ready to come up to speed. There's a green and we're underway.
Wow, and that should not have been a green. The champion car was out in front of the pole sitter. I wonder immediately, could this possibly be a penalty? You see both Corvettes slashing by Willman, and he's slowing.
Yep, the P2 car off. There he is through the grass. And the 16 Dyson car is off too.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe it didn't jump the start, Bill.
I think you're exactly right. They must have pulled off prior to the start, which then makes it perfectly legal for the champion ADT Audi. Here we are, we're on board right now. This is Marco Werner, the phenomenal driver from Germany in this car who has just been blistering.
Well, we just checked in with the Dyson Racing Group. They believe that Butch's engine just shut down. They're trying to get him back in the car so they can communicate with him and see what the problem is. So that was not the start they were looking for. Very confident going in. And the news on the Pilbeam boys as well, it may be the engine is gone already. There were concerns with that bigger 3.4-liter Willman engine. It didn't even make it a lap, Ralph.
Back deeper in the pack now with GTS, the top line for the production cars. There's the 2 Corvettes out in front. And it's Oliver Gavin leading Ron Fellows, number 4 Corvette, in front of the number 3. And right behind them, Terry Portscheller in the Celine.
This is the battle of cubic inches right now because both of these Corvettes are 7 liters. The Celine that is following is also a 7 liter. So Chevrolet right now is winning this battle, but only by a couple of seconds.
There's the one we've all been waiting to see if you're a fan of the American Le Mans Series, a Lamborghini Murcielago. There's actually 2 of them here this weekend. This is the number 5. And Cox is leading right. Peter Cox driving that car right now, and they're running solidly in 4th.
It's very nice to see this car make an appearance. Ultra exotic. I think it's on everybody's dream list. And every time the car has come on the track from the very first session, it's been very reliable and just gets quicker and quicker. David Brabham, Peter Cox, very pleased with the development, but this is so early in the program. They came near realizing that they really couldn't expect to challenge the Corvettes at this point. So they're being patient, working with Dick Barber Racing, a famous name through the American Le Mans Series over the years.
Now, while we were in commercial, there's quite a bit of action in the GT class. Watch out in front. The Panos up to 2nd. David Salins just went in too deep.
He just simply did. He got in far too deep, carrying a little bit too much speed, but really didn't get too rattled. Kind of drove from the edge of the track and just carried right back on again.
And Darren Law in the Flying Lizard Porsche number 45 having a great run as well.
And this is the car right here. That's David Salins in that silver and green Panos that is trying hard to close up on Timo Bernhard. Timo has about a 5-second lead right now. He's having a wonderful year so far because he and his co-driver Jörg Bergmeister, they won Sebring, and of course Jörg went on to win Le Mans as well. So very strong team, as is almost typical for Alex Job Racing. But this car is catching them by bits and pieces.
And I can tell you one car that's handling real well right now is the Dyson entry for Andy Wallace, because we've got to change for the lead. He's moved in front of Marco Werner, who we're on board with. The Audi now back to 2nd.
Yeah, I was just wondering a second ago if maybe Andy Wallace had got orders from the Dyson camp to start pushing, because it looked like he started getting deeper and deeper under braking. You could see the back of the car wiggling. Just maximum effort under braking, and adhesion was just barely hanging on.
Problems have come to the 37 of John Field and Duncan Dayton in the P1 class, Calvin.
Yes, indeed. That's a big disappointment here. The local man, John Field. The attrition rate is high here today. What put the 37 car out, John?
Well, we'd lost 3rd and 4th gear for some reason. Something in the box went haywire. It just wouldn't catch. There's oil all over the back end of the cowlings. Car was running great up to that point. It's tough deal for us.
Well, and we've had a change in GT. The number 50 Paynos has had a big problem. You can see the damage to the left front of the nose of the Paynos.
David Salen's a great job in qualifying, and it looked like the race held so much promise. But what happened on the track?
This is something I have never seen in my whole racing career, and I have done some races until now. That guy was lapped. His car was hanging together with some tape. He was doing, I don't know, 3 minutes a lap. I was just behind him. He locked up all the brakes going into the corner. I thought he was spinning off. And then he, as a matter of fact, catched it back, pointed into the right direction. I was in the middle of the corner. He just ran straight into me.
Timo Bernhard still leading in the GT class for Alex Job Racing. Let's take a look at what's going on in P2. Field out in front. The local boy having a pretty good run here today. Actually, the second car in line, that one right there, the number 30, the class leader in P2. Having a pretty solid afternoon so far. Not any major problems for them at all.
Yeah, Clint Field has had a pretty magical year so far. This is one of the teams that did come back from a win at Le Mans.
That's a look at second and third in P2. Lally running in second. Third is James right now in the number 10 machine.
Oops, there's the Audi peeling in the pits. Now that's a shock. We all thought the Lola MG would go in first, but Marco Werner is coming down pit lane.
Well, there will indeed be a driver change here. Marco Werner jumping out. Remember, he's never driven here before. JJ certainly has. In fact, he won here in the GT class back in 2001. But we understand there's a problem with the 20 machine.
Well, we got problems in the GT class, actually, Cal. The 24 Alex Job machine is the one that's beached off in the dirt, in the sand trap. The other car that was involved in that was Ralph Kellener's in the Ferrari 360 on the right side of your screen. Let's see what happens here. Andy Wallace just in front of them. Mark Lieb got up the inside.
Oh, man. Oh, no, that's just the wrong thing to try. He tried to get so deep under braking. Now, there's the Dyson car going by, and he tries to go down the inside. Watch right there. Watch the Ferrari. He's going to be coming over, and suddenly there's the contact. The Dyson car is in. They're not waiting for a pace car.
Brian Till.
Well, that's right, guys. The 20 car on pit road. Young Chris Dyson will be taking over the wheel from Andy Wallace. A lot of pressure on this young driver's shoulders. This is the race leading car. When they brought this in, the yellow came out at just the wrong time for these guys. Bill, you said if they could stay out on the racetrack, that would be good, but the car was already on pit lane. Well, the leaders in GTS, the winners from Le Mans are in the pits. Oliver Gavin turned over now to the Frenchman, Olivier Beretta, with the 3 car running in second, 4 car pitting slightly early. At this point, the 4 car is just praying they don't see a yellow flag, which would then give the edge to the sister car. Pit stop is complete. Beretta's on his way.
That's right, Calvin. There is actually no full course yellow right now. There's only a local yellow in the section of where the incident was. Now the pits are closed. They're bringing out the pace car. This turns everything upside down, Bill.
What a huge stroke of luck to the number 3 Corvette, because now they can make their stop. Once the pits reopen, they can make their stop under a yellow flag situation behind the pace car. They lose a fraction of the time compared to their team car.
And a good break for the 38, because the pit strategy with the yellows coming out didn't really hurt them as bad as it could have.
Not at all. If Dyson had been able to stay out 1 or maybe 2 more laps, oh, what a huge advantage that could have been.
Well, after turning the wheel over to Chris Dyson, Andy Wallace, that was a great first stint there. You literally had a great dust up with Marco Werner. Talk us through it.
Actually, it was a brilliant race. I mean, obviously the traffic in these ALMS races is what makes the race. You can pull a gap, and then suddenly, boff, it's gone again.
We got Marco Werner here. Marco coming over to have a chat with Andy. That's a great battle, Marco.
That's racing, that's funny. Very nice. I can drive 2 hours more. It was so funny.
Just that one little incident right there, and how it happened, the timing of the incident before the pace car came out. It appears to have given Ron Fellows a 1-lap lead in his GTS class. So the familiar number 3 Corvette is leading by a full lap, and that's a bonus, an unexpected bonus for him.
We're back to green, and JJ Lato and the Audi out in front now as Chris Dyson tries to get the lead back. Well, the driver that just got out of the number 3, Ron Fellows, is standing by with Tracy Wolfson.
Well, Ron, you got a lucky break right there.
Well, it would seem that way, wouldn't it? Yeah. It's still early. We've still got probably about an hour and 15 to go. Again, Right now it's a battle between the two Corvettes, this is kind of cool because we got a pile of people from CompuWare here, Pratt & Miller and GM Racing. This is as good as a home race for us, so this is a good little battle, but we'll take luck whenever we can get it.
On board with the P1 leader, this is J.J. Lato, the great Finnish driver. And he's got a huge lead over the car that's running in second. Chris Dyson, the Dyson Racing entry, is now 2 laps down to J.J. Lato. And here's why. While we were away, and J.J. and Chris were having quite a battle for the lead position as Chris now works his way through traffic, Chris just lost it.
Yeah, it's a fairly quick part of the track right there. The car is doing a transition from left to right. He has come over the crest of the hill, so things are fairly light.
Now in the GT class, again, Porsche is out front, but as we said, not the Porsche team that you would expect. It's the Flying Lizard team. And you know, there's a little secret to that. Nobody really knows where the Flying Lizard came from. If you ask any of the guys on the team, the drivers and crew members, none of them know. The only people that know are the actual principal owners of the team, and they're not saying.
Well, we talked about the 45 Flying Lizard car. Darren Law sharing that car with Johannes van Overbeek. And I think maybe the best compliment to you guys and what's happening right now, we said earlier, Alex Job said, we think the only car out there that can beat us is the 45 Flying Lizard.
Actually, I think we can. We've had unbelievable run. The car's super consistent. When I came in right behind the Job car, and we beat him out of the pit. So the team has done a phenomenal job. It's been a good weekend.
We've spent a lot of time talking about the Porsches in GT. There is a lone Ferrari running in this division, which Ralph Kellner's and Anthony Lazzaro, the Rizzi Competizione entry. It's a Ferrari 360 Modena GTC, and they've been having a very good run. Unfortunately, they had problems while Lazzaro was behind the wheel. You know, one of the things you notice as you looked at our GTS leaderboard there is that David Brabham is up to third, the Lamborghini Murcielago up to third. Now, there were 2 of those that showed up here this weekend, the other one being driven by Tracy Crone and Scott Maxwell in the Crone Barber Racing entry. And that car got involved in an incident back on Friday, so unfortunately it was not going to be able to compete here.
Boy, these guys, they've been so pleased with Pirelli tires also on that Lamborghini.
Now, earlier today, there was trouble for the 4 and the 63. Olivier Beretta in the 4 car battling with the Celine. Oh, contact down at the keyhole.
Johnny Mollem in that car right there. Oh, that's about as close as you want to come to the tire wall. Oh, no.
Look at the damage to the front.
JJ brings it in. We believe JJ will stay behind the wheel. I see Marco Bona just sitting there with no helmet on. That is an immediate sign. No tire change. JJ back underway.
That was a nice stop. Very efficiently done. JJ sitting there very cool and calm. Sometimes you'll hear people come in and they'll be revving and looking around frantically.
And there is the Celine with Johnny Mollem on board. That car running 4th in GTS, and he is trying to track down David Brabham. There's Johnny right there.
And pretty close, too. We're showing like about 3.5 seconds back, and he's running a little bit faster than Brabham is right now in the Lamborghini, so this could be a good battle in a couple of laps.
Now here's the traffic that we talked about too, Bill. A slower GT car right in front of him.
That could come into play. David's really be very cagey here coming off the corner and get as much speed as possible, because you know the 7-liter in the Celine is going to have tremendous American torque. The V12s, oh, and he's got a terrific run on him. Look at this.
And a P2 car in front, trying to squeeze him to the inside. Oh, almost took the nose off.
Let's see if David can come back now. Now, as JJ comes around, getting close to the checker flag, just a little note of something. Talking about reliability in race engines, which sometimes don't go hand in hand. The engine in this car is the same engine that won the Miami Grand Prix last year, that won Petit Le Mans, 10 hours of racing, and Sebring.
And it just won at Mid-Ohio. Congratulations to J.J. Lato and Marco Werner. The ADT champion team has won here at Mid-Ohio.
And look at Brabham.
There's your GT leader, the Porsche, and here's a battle in GTS for 3rd. How's this going to shake out?
Oh, he's got it now. I think oh, man, that was close.
Brabham not done yet as he sweeps around to the outside. The Lamborghini's still going to have a great run. Mollem's going to hold on for 3rd.
Thank you very much. Outstanding, outstanding.
Lamborghini gets 4th and Flying Lizard Racing wins in GT with Johannes van Overbeek, the driver behind the wheel to see the checkered flag. Johnny O'Connell takes the win in the Corvette as Corvette goes 1-2 in GTS, and Clint Field wins after winning at Le Mans a couple of weeks later. He wins here at his home track in P2.
Well, it's a very happy JJ Leto. He's wiping up the sweat under his arms. And JJ, you assumed the lead during the pit stop, and from there it looked like cruise mode for the day.
Yeah, it was definitely when Dyson was in as well, and I don't know, they had a spin, and after that it was pretty easy. You know, there was no pushing at all. It was a shame that the other number 16 Dyson was having a problem on the start, and they couldn't take part into the race, because for sure they would have been challenging us even harder.
Now, you guys elected not to go to Le Mans. I know, Darren, both of you guys doing a lot of testing in between Sebring and here. Your 4th place finish that was there. How much did this testing pay off and contribute to this victory today?
Paid off in dividends. I mean, this team, we knew we had something good at Sebring, but since then, with all the development work, it's unbelievable. The car is good. They've done a really good job.
Not only did you take first in class, you took 3rd overall. The last time a GTS car did that in the ALMS, it was in 2000.
You know, I was disappointed yesterday. I didn't get the pole, but, you know, pole doesn't pay anything. I show up for Sundays. And so, you know, it is, yeah, I mean, just great job. Dan Binks on the radio is awesome, and everyone just did a super job.